This is more or less a letter to my family. Um, my sisters, Sue, who you sent me an email, so kind of getting the impression that you want to participate in my life. Um, Apparently, you don't listen to me, and anytime that I am in your life, all you do is tear me apart. So it's kind of hard to have you in my life. And it's really, really hard when, for example, you're telling my children how you plan on killing yourself, like throwing yourself in front of trains and buses and stuff like that. It was really difficult to be around you when you're doing stuff like that. Um, I'd love to participate with family. You have no idea how much you break my heart by doing what you do to me. I'm smart. My family rejects any form of intelligence. You've called me names. You put me down on a continuous basis. Why? Because I'm smart? It's like in my family, intelligence is a curse. So that's why I find it very, very difficult to communicate with you. Because if I voice any opinions about anything, you're there to criticize me and put me down constantly. So it's like, unless you can accept me for who I am and can have loving conversations, agree to disagree about shit if that's what we have to, but don't criticize me and say you're right about something. Not when you're talking about throwing yourself in front of buses. Something is wrong there. And yes, you've healed yourself, but you've healed yourself still hating the world. You've just accepted that the world is the way it is. And you're not participating in any changes whatsoever that need to take place. So, if you want our family healed, pass this video to Dad. And this is, Dear Dad, when you love something, you love it. You can't wait to be around it. You don't want to change it because you happen to love it. From the day I was born, my father hated my guts. All the time he said he loved me. But he tried to beat the crap out of me. He tried emotionally criticizing me constantly, calling me stupid, calling me lazy, hating women. I've had to live with this man talk about how much he hates women. And he's got 8 sisters and a mother that gave birth to 10 kids. Who he hates women because all they do is spread their legs and pump out babies. So he actually is a man. Dad, you hated your mother. Because for you to say that women do nothing but spread their legs and pump out kids, you hated my mother, you hated your mother, you hate all of your sisters. It's sitting and watching you talk about women the way you do. You know you're criticizing and putting down every one of your sisters, these sisters of yours that look up to you as the hero. Which is a good example, Aunt Madeline, the one that married a man who hates kids, the farmer that went into the corporate structure and took farmers out of being farmers and wanted them to be the corporate structure and take food away from. Come on, he worked at Massey Ferguson. What was the first thing that got farmers losing their farms to the big corporations? They were manipulated into buying these big, huge tractors so that they could perform bigger and better. And then they got bank loans for these equipment that they couldn't afford. And then the banks claimed bankruptcy on the farm and so that the big corporations could take over. But he doesn't see that. this is a family that before they even got married, and because she wanted to have a lot of kids, and she's marrying a man who hates kids, what did they do? They took me as a little experiment to live with them to see if he could handle being around a kid. And I remember that night, that real well. It was the most traumatic night of my life. And it wasn't that they want to say I was homesick. No, I wasn't. I was in the most cold hearted, negative energy environment possible. I wanted to go home. Home was better than that place. And these people had a lot of kids, so I can imagine where their heads have been trained to believe. These are people that, because Dad, you were so abusive towards me, I had to run away. I had to be as far away from you as possible in order to be safe. And your sister is telling me that I'm ungrateful. Basically, my Aunt Madeline is a woman that would say a child needs to be abused. She would be the one that if she's seen abuse and a kid needed help, she would be the one that would grab that kid and put it back in that abusive environment and criticize that kid even more, because that's what she's done my entire life. You didn't love me, Dad, or you wouldn't want to change me as much as you did. You hated me, and you wanted to change me into something you could love. This is not about you owe me, or I need to get over some things. No, this is called repentance. And this is the kind of Christian bullshit that goes on. You beat the crap out of me because of a Catholic religion and because of a medical system that misdiagnoses shit. They told you to beat the crap out of me. That religion says you just have to, talk to Jesus and you'll be saved for all the wrongs you've done. No. Repentance means you correct the wrongs that you've done. And I don't see you doing that. You just keep saying, oh, accept it. No, I'm not going to accept abuse. What you did was wrong. And you need to admit that what you did was wrong. If you love somebody, then you love what I'm doing. You love every aspect of everything I'm doing, even confronting you publicly. You would not listen to me privately. It's almost like my family is forcing me to say it loudly if you don't want to listen privately. Enough of these family secrets. Secrets carry abuse. And look at all of the secrets within our governments. It's the same thing. As long as there's a secret, you know that there's abuse going on someplace. It's how abuse survives, is by keeping everything a secret. So I love you, Dad. I know perfectly well that you're not able to receive information. I know a lot of people are not able to receive information. You're blocked. You want to believe what you want to believe. You want to believe that you can't change. That's a cop-out. Don't ever tell me that I should change if you can't change. Don't ever expect a 3-year-old to change if you can't change. If the rule is you can't change, teach an old dog new tricks, well, guess what? Let's put 3 years old is, the time where you get old. So whatever it is you did to me, can't change an old dog. I'm 52. Can't change this old dog. So this old dog is going to let everybody know all of your freaking secrets unless you come to a peace table and make good on what it is that you've done. You don't owe me anything. I don't want anything from you. Other than my father, to learn what love is and to express what love is before you die. Because if you get that, maybe you won't die. You're living in your own hell. You're manifesting your own illnesses. You've hated life so much you want to die. You've hated my mother so much. She wanted to escape you and hid over $30,000 in $20 bills, thinking one day she might be able to escape you. She went to work trying to gain her independence, and every time she got a paycheck, she took her $20 bills and stuffed it and saved it. That says something about how loving it was to be around you. This is not about hate. These tears, this effort is because how much I love my father, how much I want my father. But will my father show up? Will my father receive my love? This is called tough love, Dad. How do you like it? This is what you think is the good thing, is tough love. You thrived on tough love. So I'm giving you what it is you asked for, is tough love. Tough love means I need to expose your secrets. Your heritage, when you die, you're going to be remembered as somebody that was more abusive than your own father, and you know damn well there was a lot of sexual abuse in your father's. That is the big secret in your family. You sit there and worship your son. You hate women, but you love men. He's nothing but an alcoholic. This man got drunk in the afternoon, so friggin' drunk. In the afternoon that he passes out sitting straight up on a couch. And I'm like, you people don't see how friggin' dysfunctional that is? When he's walking with his kids, I watched my brother punch his daughter. And everybody's acting like it was normal behavior. Oh, he's just drunk. No, you punched your own friggin' daughter in front of me. And then I thought, okay, these people aren't getting it. Let's make it a little clearer. And we had these tattoos. So I got their kids to put a tattoo on his forehead. The man hates tattoos. So I got his kids to put a tattoo on his forehead while he was passed out. So when he woke up, the game was for him to somehow look in a mirror and see that he had a tattoo on his forehead. And everybody thought that it was really, really funny. And not one person even noticed. I set it all up so you could see what you all look like. My brother allowed his own children to humiliate him, to go against him. They all knew he hated tattoos and they put it on him when he didn't like it or when he was out of his own control. Just like my brother hit his kids when he's drunk and they think it's normal. And this, Dad, now your alcoholic, drug-addicted, gambling, cheating, lying son is looking after all of your money. You have two amazing daughters that would love you, that would want you in their lives. But you hate your daughters and you love your son. And isn't that funny? Your son looks exactly like you, hateful, judgmental. He hates women. He hates his wife. He hates his daughter. He hates his sisters. He hates all women, just like you, just like your father. See a pattern there? Repentance means you say you're wrong. You point out exactly where you're wrong, and you do something a little different. Show some love. Don't show so much hate. Peace out.